So, let me tell you something you probably won't believe. My HOA president tried to steal my winter firewood right out of my driveway, like it was her personal shopping cart. Then she found out the hard way that messing with a retired firefighter's family is about the smokiest mistake you can make in this neighborhood. Yeah, that happened. My name's Marcus. I'm 52, spent half my life running into burning buildings. And the only thing I love more than a quiet autumn morning is making sure my old man stays warm through those brutal Colorado winters. You know what I mean? Every October, like clockwork, I split 4 cords of oak out back. Just me, my maul, the sharp crack of timber echoing through air so clean you can taste it, making stacks so perfect my dad jokes you could eat your dinner off them. That's what I was doing when I first noticed Denise Kramer rolling up. Her white Escalade probably cost more than my dad's whole house, parking right next to my woodpile. She gets out, blonde highlights gleaming, decked in gym clothes nobody actually sweats in, and starts loading my firewood like she's prepping for the apocalypse. "Oh, I thought this was just debris," she says, smiling like we're all friends here. "Sure you did, Denise." Now, here's what most folks don't know about retired firefighters. We know exactly what happens when you burn the wrong stuff. So when Denise fired up her fancy fireplace with my hand-split oak and a little something else logs, well, let's just say her pristine living room got a makeover she'll never forget. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me back up a sec. This all started when I moved back home after my mom passed, just to make sure Dad was okay. He's 78, tough as nails, living on a pension that barely covers his meds, and wouldn't accept charity even if you gift-wrapped it. So I figured, why not heat the place the old-fashioned way? We got 2 acres of mature oaks. Grandparents planted him back in the 60s, so every year I clear the deadfall, split it, and stack it up nice. There's something about the rhythm, swing, crack, breathe, that drowns out all those sirens still ringing in my head from years on the job. Anyway, Willowbrook Estates looks like a storybook. 847 homes, lawns so neat you wonder if the grass is scared to grow. $180 monthly HOA dues, and a 47-page rulebook nobody actually reads except the people who write the violation letters. We even have a newsletter that covers everything from lost cats to who's been slacking on their grass. Most of the time, folks get along fine. There's a bunch of us who still use wood stoves and nobody cares. But then Denise Kramer moved in, right from the jump. She ran for HOA president and won. Real estate agent, mid-50s, always in some kind of designer tracksuit, always driving that Escalade, always with that smile that's just a little too wide. At first, neighbors bought the act. Not me. I saw how she treated people. The teachers got friendly reminders. The mechanic down the street got slapped with official violations for the same garden hose. Selective enforcement, plain and simple. Tuesday afternoon in October, I left for 45 minutes, just to grab Dad's prescriptions. And when I got back, there she was, loading half a cord of my firewood. I walk up, heart pounding, and say, "Excuse me, that's my firewood." She flashes that same phony smile and goes, "Oh, I thought this was debris. You know, CCNRs prohibit unsightly piles." Lady, I read those rules. Section 12.3 says you can store wood as long as it's stacked and covered. I even pointed out my tarp. Well, it's attracting insects. I'll dispose of it through HOA maintenance. Before I could say another word, she slammed her tailgate and peeled out like she just robbed a bank. Now, that's 6 hours of my sweat and about $200 of heating fuel disappearing in her exhaust. But you know what? It was never about firewood. Denise wanted power. She figured nobody would fight back, especially not working folks like us. But here's a little legal tip for you. When HOA boards go after some people but ignore others for the same offense, that's called selective enforcement, and it's a civil rights issue waiting to explode. That night, I asked around. Turns out Denise was running a little cleanup campaign. Mrs. Rodriguez next door told me. She never bothers the lawyer with the rusty basketball hoop, but she's all over us. It was always the same. Working folks, blue-collar families, always getting targeted. Now, retired firefighters, we don't panic. We plan. 3 days after the firewood heist, I wake up to 3 brand new violation notices on my door. Dad's old Ford counted as excessive vehicle parking. Our vegetable garden was suddenly unapproved landscaping. and splitting wood was now disturbing the peace. Fines, $150 a day. That's almost $5,000 a month, enough to drive anyone on a pension straight out of their house. Instead of losing my head, I started digging. Pulled up Denise's real estate listings. She's got properties online showing firewood piles and backyard gardens just like ours, all while writing us up for the same thing. Screenshots don't lie, but apparently HOA presidents do. That's when I remembered. Board members need actual authorization to hand out violations. So I hit them with a Freedom of Information request, board minutes, votes, everything. Turns out, for 2 years Denise had been writing tickets with zero board approval. No vote. No authorization. Just because I said so. So, I mailed the board and cited the law. Board action requires oversight and proper voting. Suddenly, things got interesting. That's when my neighbor Beth, a middle school teacher who keeps better records than the IRS, steps up with printouts showing Denise's favorites. Wealthy families got a free pass, while the Kowalskis, who work at the grocery and the mechanic shop, got hammered for grass an inch too long. Systematic discrimination. Right there in black and white. My dad just sat on the porch that night, his knuckles white on his mug, and said, "So she's just trying to run out the people she doesn't like." Exactly, I told him. The next day, Denise leaves this syrupy voicemail. "Let's meet for coffee and work this out, neighbor to neighbor." Sure, Denise, let's. Sometimes the best way to catch a liar is to let them talk themselves into a hole. We meet at Starbucks, public place, security cameras, you get the idea. Right before I go, a beat-up pickup rolls up at my house. Out comes a guy in coveralls with "Inspector" written in Sharpie on duct tape. No joke, I almost laughed. "Marcus Holloway, County Code Enforcement. HOA says your heating's dangerous. Need to red tag it unless you pay $2 for 100 for inspection." Kramer, same last name as Denise. Real subtle. I play along, let him brag. He says, "Your HOA president pays me $500 per violation. She wants certain residents out." I'm recording every word. That's felony fraud, impersonating an inspector, and conspiracy to commit extortion. I've got him cold. Meanwhile, a lawyer's letter arrives, embossed gold, threatening foreclosure on our house over violations and demanding $4,000 in 10 days. Nice try, but I called the law firm. "We've never handled HOA cases," the real receptionist says. Fake letter. Federal crime. So, I call Denise and say, "I can't lose my dad's house. Can we meet?" She bites, tells me to bring the letter to Starbucks, where Beth, my witness, shows up too. Denise, smooth as ever, confesses on tape that she borrowed a legal template because official channels were too slow and they need a higher caliber of homeowner. Beth nearly spit out her coffee. After that, my attorney uncovers the mother lode. Denise has been funneling over $127,000 from the HOA to her own company, using fake invoices and forged signatures. Every family who paid a fine, every old person threatened with foreclosure, they were just her piggy bank. Here's the kicker. When HOA officers commit financial crimes in Colorado, they lose all legal immunity, and every fine they ever issued gets erased. Victims can sue for triple damages, and a quarter of the homeowners can dissolve the board on the spot. Now it's on. 3 weeks until the annual meeting, we put together a team. Beth, Frank the retired accountant, Detective Blair, and me. We document everything. Fake violations, discrimination, extortion, fraud. Meanwhile, I cook up a special batch of Denise's favorite firewood, seasoned oak logs, hollowed out and filled with coal dust, then glued shut and stacked right where she likes to clean up. Just as planned, her Escalade rolls up at 2 a.m. Trail cameras catch every second. Denise and Rick load up 6 coal-filled logs, gloating about getting rid of problem residents. That night, as the temperature drops, she fires up her stolen logs, and boom, thick black soot pours out her chimney, coating every inch of her white living room. That's karma you can measure in microns, right there. Neighbors come running. Fire trucks arrive. And the irony is thick as that smoke. Captain says, "Marcus, everything okay?" "Just enjoying the night air, Captain. Maybe someone should have checked what they were burning." Suddenly, everyone in Willowbrook wants to know what's really been going on. 3 news crews show up for the annual meeting. Denise tries to rally her last supporters, but now she's got hazmat crews at her House. Insurance won't pay, and her character assassination campaign is traced right back to her Wi-Fi. Her meltdown at the grocery store goes viral. Her threats get added to the police report. The night of the meeting, 400 neighbors pack the room. Frank stands up and reads the numbers. $127,000 gone. Board never authorized it. I play the recording of Rick admitting the extortion, then Denise admitting the fake letters and targeting undesirables. The crowd erupts. People shout, cry, high five. Denise tries to scream over them. You're all jealous. Detective Blair stands up, badge flashing, and reads her Miranda rights right there in front of everyone. Handcuffs echoing off the walls like the final act of a long, bad play. Unanimous vote. The board is dissolved. Denise gets walked out in cuffs, and every victimized family gets restitution and triple damages. Our new HOA board runs everything with full transparency, monthly reports, live-streamed meetings, and every violation is reviewed by community members. Spring comes, the trees bloom again, and we start the Willowbrook Warmth Project, volunteers splitting and delivering firewood to every elderly or disabled neighbor for free, using the recovered funds. Even some of Denise's old buddies pitch in. They say real service feels better than bossing people around ever did. You know what's funny? Denise thought she could rule by fear, but all she did was unite everyone she tried to divide. Dad's health improves, neighbors talk, kids laugh out back while we split wood, and the only smoke now is from honest work, not corruption. So, tell me, if your HOA president tried to run you out, would you fight back? Drop your wildest HOA story in the comments, or just let us know where you're watching from. These Karen tales need to be told, because sometimes justice smells a lot like fresh-cut oak and the sweet, sweet taste of revenge. And if you want to hear how I caught our city council's parking scam with nothing but a stopwatch and some public records, stick around, hit subscribe, and let's keep this fire burning.